Welcome to your new SideQuest podcast with the intention of helping you through the game of life with mindful reframing and awareness as we all move through this journey called the human experience. It's time to level up. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your new SideQuest. Just ask her out already, bro.
In this episode, we are continuing on the topic about taking action to calm uncertainty as we discussed in our previous episode. But this is more related to dating in general, right? So, Derek, tell me about an experience you had about not asking a girl out that you liked.
So I had this crush in high school. She was like 2 years younger than me. And I don't know what started that feeling of having that crush. I thought that she was really, really cute, and we used to hang out all the time with the same group of friends. And it's crazy because it lasted for like 5 years until I actually had the balls to even say anything. So it was from high school until like the almost the end of college. And I don't know why I waited so long because I would ruminate about her. I would be in limerence and I would craft all these fantasies about her. You know, crushes.
Putting her on a pedestal.
We basically just fill in the blanks when we are thinking about the future together. What happened was that she ended up going to the same college as me. And what's kind of fucked up though is that she actually dated my roommate before that.
Oh, man.
So like it's kind of stupid because like once they broke up, I gave it some time. I started chasing her.
Yeah, you thought, this is my way in.
Yeah, this is like my chance to finally confess that I had feelings for her. So we hung out one time when we were both back home on Kauai, and I remember we went to Taco Bell. We had a good time, and then I brought her back to my place. And back then I didn't even know how to make a move, but she sat on my bed and I sat next to her. But then I freaked out and like I got off the bed and sat on the floor and I was like, fuck, like why did I even do that? But anyways, in the end, we ended up in her car. And then like after 5 years I was like, so I liked you all these years. Would you be open to going out with me? And then she said, "Oh, I have to think about that.
Oh,
I'll get back to you, right?" And of course, it wasn't the answer that I wanted to hear, but back then I was thinking, "Okay, I'll just wait. I could wait a little bit more." So time passed by, maybe like a few weeks, and I never heard back from her. And then I told my friend who was like a mutual friend, "Hey, like I actually confessed to this girl and it's killing me because I didn't receive any answer from her, let alone like any message, any contact.
yeah, she didn't reciprocate.
And I just want to know what's up." So, my friend asked on my behalf, like, "Oh, so what's up? Like, do you know how you feel about this? Blah blah blah." And then she texts me, fucking the whole paragraph of like, "Oh, I only think of you as a friend, blah blah blah. I don't feel the same way." And then back then I was like, "Oh, I'm not asking you to marry me." Something stupid like that, right?
Yeah.
Like because I'm just trying to convince her that
Try
I
to soften the impact.
yeah, soften the impact, trying to convince her that I am good enough. But in the end, nope, it wasn't the case. And dude, all that time I spent just fantasizing about this crush, just all that burden I was carrying the whole time, like over 5 years, it was so unnecessary for me to
Yeah.
do that. And I didn't know what I was doing back then. I didn't know how I was behaving or my mindset. It was just straight up. Now that I look back at it, I was like, just no way I'm gonna do that ever again in my life because that emotional burden, just carrying that, it feels so toxic to me.
Yeah. So after that, you were like, never again.
Never again. I feel like sometimes I still do that on some level where I kind of prolong the whole asking her
Mhm.
out part.
Yeah.
But overall, I still make moves now. I rather have rejection than me carrying this emotional weight of
Right.
this crush.
Yeah, and continuing to build that investment in your mind and her living rent free.
Rent free in my fucking head, and it's just so heavy, and you don't want to bring yourself to carry that burden anymore, for sure. But how about you? Anything kind of relatable that you've been through?
Yeah, well, first, thanks for sharing that. I mean, that's basically how a lot of guys experience their rejection early on in high school and college. I remember a similar experience I had, also in a social group. There were about five of us, and of course, there were girls and me and my other guy friend. We were kind of crushing on like two separate girls. So when that happens, we're kind of like, oh, you go for her, I'm gonna go for her. And so my friend takes a long time to like confess his feelings and stuff. And I was a little quicker, fortunately, but I also took so long too, to the point where I was kind of hinting that I wanted to go out with her one on one. I actually asked her to hang out to grab lunch. Um, oh, sorry, by the way, this was actually like just kind of beginning of college too. So it was after high school, and I already knew how to like, I guess like do moves and ask girls out and stuff. But what prolonged me in this situation was that this was a social group, and so I didn't know how to navigate, um, flirting in a social setting because I didn't want to risk my position in the group or make the group kind of fall apart and stuff. So that's why it took long. And when we went out, um, I I wanted there to be like kind of date vibes, but it was more friendly. And then later on, I tried asking her out again, and so she caught on from there, and she was like, "Oh, I don't really, think that we're like compatible or something, or like, um, some kind of like spiel about like, oh, like we're not like together and stuff."
Did she tell you that directly, or was it through like a text message?
She was very direct, but it was through text message. And so like I at first was like I don't know how I received it, but I was kind of confused because like I thought I was like building up to something.
And you thought you were having a good time with each other. You thought you
Yeah.
were compatible and all that.
Yeah, and then she completely threw me off, and I remember feeling like that was when I was like still emotionally immature too. So I remember feeling a little salty about it. I wanted to avoid the group and not really talk to anybody and isolate myself.
You're basically ashamed, right?
Yeah. And I bet you she probably even told her friends too and like
Oh, I hate that.
told all the other girls in
Yeah.
there and the guy.
That just like adds like salt to the wound, right? When
Yeah.
everybody finds out about it. Oh, fuck it. Fuck that
Yeah.
shit.
But the worst part that happened after that was we had kind of a Christmas party coming up, and my guy friend kept insisting on me to come. He was like, "Bro, just come anyway. Have a good time, have fun." And I was really like uncomfortable with the fact that like she was also gonna be there. So at least I showed face. I came and I saw her there, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go. I gotta leave." And then my guy friend just kept dragging me in, pulling me in, and it was uncomfortable. And everybody just felt that tension, that
Oh no.
awkwardness.
Yeah, I think girls can sense the emotional tension when it comes to those things. Like
Yeah,
there's something off, right?
right. And she knew why, and it was such a mess that like she started crying, and then
Really?
yeah,
She started
she
crying.
started crying because of all the drama that was like created from this like I don't know, this like awkwardness where like I didn't want to talk to her, I didn't want to be there, and our group was falling apart because because I think I was like changing the dynamic a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a lesson for me to learn about like how I ask someone out in a group, and from that point on I learned that like if I like someone, I'm just going to ask them straight from the start.
I think that's a better approach versus carrying that whole emotional weight in your body and in your mind and in your heart because
Yeah, and letting it affect other people too, because they can pick up on it, and it just starts becoming like just a clusterfuck.
better not to prolong it because yeah, it's very true. I feel like if we have ulterior motives with a person that we are interested in
Hmm.
and we try to start being friends with them first, that kind of is kind of like a lie, right? Like you're performing, you're just creating this facade of like I want to be friends,
Yeah,
but not really, right? And then you go on to confess, and that just changes everything, especially within a social group.
right. Would you say that's like the old-fashioned way,
I
where
would, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I feel like the old-fashioned way is basically just the idea that was put upon us through movies
mm,
because that's how we see what the progression of love is, right? In
yeah,
the movies, it's like you're friends first. You're like having a good time, you connect,
get
and
to know
then
them?
get to know them, and ideally, both parties are interested. But
Yeah.
in real life, that is not the fucking truth.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite. They in the movies they prolong like the ask part like so long, because you don't want to watch a movie where like the guy just asks out the girl in the beginning, gets rejected,
Yeah,
and that's it.
you need the story build up, right? The tension build
The
up.
build up.
That's what makes movies. Movies is just it brings that whole story together because it's entertaining.
Right.
So would you say that I know recently we have a friend, a mutual friend that's kind of going through something similar
Yeah.
in that old fashioned movie type of way. You
Hmm.
care to explain what's going on?
Yeah. So he apparently likes another friend from our group too. He's also old fashioned. He likes to get to know the girl first, then build friendships, develop feelings for her, and then build up the courage to ask her out. So I was like asking him the other day, I was like, why, like what about her do you like so much? And he's listing like all of these things about her based on like simple assumptions, right? And he's like, oh, she's so financially smart, and she likes to tell jokes and stuff, and I really like this about her, I really like that. And as I was listening to it, I was like, bro, you're just putting her on a pedestal.
So did they ever have alone time together for him to really know that that is her?
There were opportunities, like we went on a hike, and that was like a 3 hour long hike where there was at least some space in between where people they could like split up and talk with each other and stuff. And that could have been his opportunity right there to ask her out, or to at least like suggest some kind of activity one on one together. I mean, granted, like he did ask her like to go hike on a sunset earlier, um, but she kind of like turned him down softly, like by saying like, "Oh, I kind of want the group to come too."
I feel that that's a valid feeling to have. Also, it is also a sign of kind of disinterest, right?
Yeah, for most people, it makes sense because like if you're really feeling attracted to someone, wouldn't you want to spend one-on-one time with them?
Exactly. Like as far as like she knew him up to that point, I would assume that she would already know whether or not she's attracted to him, right?
Hmm.
Because how many times did you guys hang out before that?
Yeah. We hung out since we hung out since March, and it was like maybe twice a month. We would have a different outing, like hanging out at the mall, going hiking.
So there's a good amount of time together already for
Right,
both of
exactly.
them to kind of know, oh, I kind of think this person's cute or
Yeah.
attractive, right? Yeah.
If he were interested in her from the very start, it would have already been like the first two meetings, like where he would, say something like, "Hey, um, like, would you wanna go grab coffee or something sometime or whatever?"
Even it goes same for her too, right? If there were already some type of spark or interest,
Yeah.
she would be like even asking him like, "Oh, do you want to hang out sometime,
Hmm.
or actually be more open to being close with him, at least physically too, right? By
Yeah,
touching or
there would have been like obvious
proximity.
signs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why would you say this situation bugs us so much?
I think this situation really bothers us because we were both in the same shoes
Yeah, and it's like we're
as him.
projecting our own like
Our own experiences
experiences.
onto him, and to be honest, we both knew better. We both know better by now.
Hmm.
So what we want to tell him is what?
Ask her out already,
Just
bro.
fucking ask her out. All right, stop being a little bitch and
Little
just do it.
bitch.
So that's our whole concept of today is really just taking that action, right?
Yeah.
Of figuring out the answer by taking immediate action because you know what you want already.
Yeah. Yeah, and by asking her out, it only brings you clarity. It brings the other person clarity because you're communicating to them that you are interested, and it also brings you a sense of like peace too, knowing that, if it's going to work out or not. You're not stuck wondering and carrying that emotional weight like you said.
To me, once I get rejected, it feels a lot more like a relief because then I'm like, I don't have to invest any energy into this anymore.
Yeah.
I can just walk away and move on to my life.
Yeah.
And, because I have a pretty good life, even without women
Hmm.
around.
Yeah, there's a release, right?
Hmm.
Like you're protected from something that's not meant to be yours anyway.
Yeah, so why carry that weight? It's just like taking a shit. Yeah, all that shit is gone and you're just relieved.
Yeah. So what I would do in his situation is I would be more direct about it. And so I kind of like broke down the three different levels of asking someone out
Okay,
in the most direct way possible.
let's go over it.
These three levels of asking a girl out or anyone out in general depends on, of course, the situation and how courageous you are. The first level is more indirect. There's no pressure with it. It's maybe something you would say if you're meeting someone for the first time, but how normally that would go is you would bring up like a common interest or activity. Like, for example, if you and the other person like making matcha or like getting coffee, you would say something like, we should go get coffee sometime, or we should just, do this sometime. And it's just a suggestion, like, there's no pressure.
Yeah, because you guys already have common ground. Why not leverage it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, even girls do this too. They're like, we should do this sometime. And yeah, it's obvious, but it's subtle at the same time. The second level would be a more direct. You're asking this person directly. So it means like there's a chance of them rejecting your offer or accepting it, but it's more like, would you like to do this sometime? Like it's a more of a yes or no question.
It's a lot more clear, right?
Yeah.
And direct, and you totally get the answer right then and there. So that's a pretty good approach.
Yeah. It's not easy. Like, of course, like it's easier said than done.
It's pretty brave to do,
Yeah. Pretty brave, takes a little bit more courage.
but
And
it
yeah,
shows having balls though, for sure.
it does. Yeah. Not a lot of people do it because, especially in social settings, because it's like, you don't want to risk being seen as like the person that gets rejected all the time.
We'll touch upon that after this. Okay, level 3.
Yeah. So level 3 is the most direct and honest. This takes the most amount of balls. But honestly, saying something like, I find you attractive and interesting. I'd like to take you out to coffee as a date. Would you be interested? So that's very direct because right away you're saying to that other person, like, I'm attracted to you. You're showing intent, right? You're showing why you're asking this person out. Like, it's not like some kind of friendly hangout or whatever, but
It's just straight up,
it's straight to the point.
straight to the point. No beating around the bush. Just direct. I I think you're hot. Let's go on a date. What do you say?
Yeah, nothing confusing about that. I've only done this approach like a few times, but it's probably when like I know I'm taking a smart risk and I'm not like really, like like embarrassing myself in public. Well, I mean, it does take like some like embarrassment, but
I mean, it shows courage,
it shows
honestly.
courage, yeah.
Like you're willing to put yourself in a situation where you are totally vulnerable
Yeah.
and seen, by everyone. Which brings me back to the topic of making a scene in a group of, the whole spectacle of asking someone out. We have that same friend that we're talking about. He hasn't done it yet, but what's going on? He told everybody what's going on, right?
Yeah.
And
And they're even supportive too. Like they're even winging him, trying to like, make it work at group hangouts.
but what I am confused by is that why does he have to make it such a big fucking spectacle? Like he's waiting for everyone to know and like he's setting the scene where everybody's gonna see, right?
Yeah.
And how do you think that's gonna turn out?
What my perspective is that there could be different, reasons behind that. Like maybe he's still sitting with a sort of fear of like what might happen. Maybe he doesn't even know his own emotions or is aware that he is dragging it out longer than it should.
But why is he making it everybody's business?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah, what would be your perspective?
He's he's scared. He needs emotional support.
Yeah.
He has a level of insecurity about it, but also it is brave to decide that, oh, this is the day I'm gonna do it in front of everybody. I already told everybody. That means it kind of gives him like accountability to be like, okay, I already told everyone I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yeah.
But for me, I would prefer to do it privately, not involve everybody because that's not everyone's business. It's like your feelings.
Yeah.
It's not everyone's weight to carry. It's like he can't carry this emotional weight by himself. That's why he's putting some weight on you guys, right?
That's a good point. Yeah, he's looking for some emotional support and reassurance.
Because he's been prolonging it way too fucking long. He's
Yeah.
being a little bitch. But yeah, like we both said, man, it's just so much more easier to do any level of direct ask. Hey, one on one, let's go on a date. Like I like you. I think you are cool.
Yeah.
Let's do something together. And whether or not he has a favorable answer, it just relieves so much fucking pressure.
Yeah, a lot of stress too. And the ironic part is the sooner that he takes any of these direct approaches from the very beginning, it's a lot more easier. Like there's less risk, like there's less investment involved for sure. And it brings the most clarity because once you go really deep into the friendship or the friend circle and you ask or like, you bring up feelings and stuff, there's a lot more involved. Like that, and there's more confusion too, because then maybe that other person will be like, why didn't you say that in the first place? Or, like why wait until now and stuff.
Well, it's the whole insecurity about it of not knowing the answer, but you know the answer by asking the question.
Yeah.
Just rip the fucking band-aid off, bro.
Yeah, you rip the band-aid off straight from the beginning.
Yeah, so what would you say our mindful reframing is for this episode?
Our mindful reframing is getting rejected and asking is better than not knowing and investing so much emotional energy.
It's just as simple as that. Just ask her out already, bro.
Just ask her out, bro.
All right. Well, that's it. We'll end it right here.
All right. And if you guys enjoyed listening to this podcast episode, be sure to give us 5 stars on Spotify as well as Apple Podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, then click the like as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you all for listening. And this is your new SideQuest podcast.
SideQuest complete.